A girl got in a taxi in Tokyo one night and never came home. The police investigated. They questioned the driver, pulled his dashcam footage, had all the pieces, then they just stopped, withdrew the whole thing like it never mattered. But in this city, things don't vanish for no reason. A missing girl becomes a problem someone needs to erase. And the guy who was there that night, he becomes exactly what people need him to be, whether he wants it or not. Meet Odokawa, 41 years old, Tokyo taxi driver, professional listener. He remembers every passenger who climbs into his car. He knows their stories, their tells, their desperation. He remembers because he's obsessive about it, not because he cares. He's spent 40 years convincing himself that staying invidal means staying safe. It doesn't. It just means when something bad finally comes looking for him, nobody's there to help. Nobody owes him anything. Nobody even knows who he is. Imagine being Odokawa every single day. You're a taxi driver in Tokyo, you're 41, your parents left when you were a kid, and you've built your entire adult life around one simple logic. It's safer not to need anyone. Your job is talking to strangers for 8 hours. You remember everything the exact way someone said they were scared, but you don't care. You can't afford to care. That's the deal. You've got maybe 3 people in your life who aren't passengers. Kakihana, he's a waiter at a club, and he's a mess. The guy is 41 years old, and he's convinced he met a girl online who's 18. Says her name is something, and they're getting along great. But here's the thing, Kakihana's showing you his profile, and it's full of lies. He's got fake pictures up. He's telling this girl he's successful, that he's going somewhere. Meanwhile, he's living in reality where there's literally no market for guys like him. No demand, no shot. But he keeps dreaming because dreaming is cheaper than facing the truth. Then there's Atsuya, a failing comedian who performs with his partner in a duo called Homo Sapiens. They're doing comedy nights, trying to make it, but they're struggling, really struggling. Atsuya keeps talking about love and feelings, keeps saying things like love is both painful and beautiful, and you're just watching this broken guy trying to make sense of his own life by talking to a taxi driver about feelings. He's been in the business 10 years, and they barely make it past round 2 in amateur competitions. But he still believes, he still shows up, he still tries. And then there's Shirakawa, a 28-year-old nurse. She works at a clinic, and for some reason, she thinks Odokawa is relaxing to be around, like spending time with an emotionally dead man is good for her stress levels. She meets him in parks, she texts him, she tells him time-lapse videos of landscapes make her anxious because the sun sets and everything changes. She's scared of time, and Odokawa's terrified of connection. So they meet up, and somehow that works for both of them. It's broken, but it's theirs. These are the only people in Odokawa's life. That's it. 3 broken people, and a man who's broken in a completely different way. Together they form this fragile ecosystem of loneliness. One night, a high school girl has gone missing in Nerima City, Tokyo. She has been unreachable since she left her home late at night on the 4th of this month. The police believed she may have been involved in an incident, and suddenly, Odokawa becomes a suspect. The last person who saw her, the convenient target. He hands over his dashcam. No problem. He'll cooperate. He's not involved. He was just a driver, just transportation. That's all he ever is. Then Big Diamond shows up, a detective. Been around, has connections, has history. He doesn't arrest Odokawa. He warns him. Someone powerful, someone important wants this girl to stay disappeared. Someone scared enough that they'll send a criminal with a gun after anyone who talks. So Big Diamond tells Odokawa, keep your mouth shut or die. That's when Odokawa realizes he's been seen. For the first time in 41 years, someone's looking at him and seeing something that matters. He holds a piece of evidence, he holds a dash cam, and somewhere in this city, someone would kill to get it. Then the entertainment world is falling apart in different ways. Homo Sapiens, the comedy duo, they're struggling. They just made it past round 2 in the N1 competition. That's supposed to be amazing, but Atsuya's barely holding it together. His partner keeps trying to tell him things aren't working, that he's being held back, but Atsuya's too broken to even get angry about it. He just accepts the insults, takes them like they're facts, because maybe they are facts. Meanwhile, Kakihana's telling Odokawa about his online girlfriend, this 18-year-old girl, and Teiko's just laughing at him. You don't know her, you've never seen her, you're being catfished. But Kakihana doesn't care. He's got feelings now, big feelings. Feelings big as Jupiter. And for a man who spent his entire life with no demand in the dating market, those feelings are the only thing keeping him alive. Then there's Mystery Kiss, 3 idol girls who just made their official debut. One of them is Rui Mikaido, and she's got actual charisma. The other 2, Shiho and Yuki, they wear masks because that was the condition of their debut. This industry doesn't care about real faces, it cares about marketability, about sales, about how many albums you can move, and how many Polaroid tickets you can sell to desperate fans. And the fans, there's this kid, been following Mystery Kiss since the beginning. When only 5 people showed up to their concert, now they're officially debuted, there's more people, there's actual interest. But this kid, he's still there, and he still can't afford the full experience. He spent his money on lottery tickets instead of taxi fare because he needs a Polaroid with Rui Mikaido. He needs to exist in her her world. Even if it's just as a paying customer, he tells Odokawa about it in the taxi, and you can hear it in his voice, the desperation. The kid asks, "You a lucky driver? Because I need to be lucky." Odokawa gives him 7 numbers, 2, 10, 12, 18, 20, 32, 33, and the kid takes those numbers seriously. He's buying a lottery ticket with Odokawa's lucky numbers, because if he can win, if he can just win, then maybe he'll matter, maybe his existence will mean something. Then Dobu shows up, a yakuza enforcer, small-time, ambitious, the type who thinks he can climb if he just takes enough risks. His boss, a guy named Kuroda, wants the missing girl found. Not because Kuroda cares about the girl. Nobody cares about the girl. Kuroda is connected to her father Don through some old-school friendship, and that connection matters enough to throw resources at this problem. Kuroda sends Dobu. Dobu takes the job, because that's what happens when your boss asks. Dobu doesn't understand the full situation. He knows the dashcam data matters. He knows someone's hunting for it. What he doesn't know is why. His boss won't explain it. That's how the hierarchy works. Information flows down in pieces. You follow orders, you climb, you don't ask. So Dobu goes direct. He gets in Odokawa's taxi and he threatens him. Threatens his life. Then he threatens the people Odokawa cares about. Shirakawa, the nurse. That usually works. People care about their friends. People will trade information to keep their friends alive. People have something to lose. Except Odokawa's been alone so long that even his caring doesn't work like that. When Dobu says, "I'll hurt your friends," Odokawa says, "Honestly, I don't mind dying." And he means it. There's no edge to it, no bravado, just the dead-eyed certainty of a man who's already decided that nothing's worth living for. That's the moment Dobu realizes he's dealing with someone broken in a different way. You can't threaten a man who's already decided nothing's worth living for. Violence only works on people who value their lives. Odokawa doesn't have that anymore. Odokawa would probably thank Dobu for ending this whole exhausting thing. So Dobu changes his approach. He doesn't ask for the dashcam data directly. He asks Odokawa to be a witness, not an informant, not a participant, just a witness. If anyone comes looking for the dashcam data, tell him. That's the entire deal. Odokawa agrees because yeah, fine, whatever. It's easier than continuing this conversation. Here's what you start to realize. Watching all these people in this one city, Kakihana needs his online girlfriend to be real, because if she's not real, then his whole existence is just sad. He's just a 41-year-old waiter living at LIE. Atsuya needs to be funny, because if he's not funny, then what is he? 10 years of his life, and nothing to show for it. The idols need to sell, because if nobody buys, then nobody cares. And if nobody cares, they don't exist. The fan needs to win the lottery, because if he doesn't, then his love for Rui Mikaido is just pathetic. It's just a sad guy with no money, chasing a girl who'll never know his name. And Odokawa needs to stay inviolable, because mattering is the same as being trapped. Being seen is the same as being hunted. As long as nobody knows who he is, he can't be used, he can't be hurt. But the girl getting in his taxi, that one moment, shatters all of that. She ran away, her father's connected to yakuza. Now Odokawa can't be invisible anymore. Now he matters to people who would kill for what he knows. And here's the twist though, Dobu's not actually a villain. He's just a guy trying to survive in a world that doesn't give a damn about survival. He tells Odokawa the truth, or at least part of the truth. His boss Kuroda, he's looking for the missing girl because she's the daughter of one of his old classmates. That's it. That's the whole reason. A friendship. And Dobu's stuck. The police suspect him. The investigation's official and it's pointed at Dobu, so he can't go to the police. He can't do anything official. He just has to investigate quietly with Odokawa's help, with the dashcam data that he's convinced Odokawa will protect, because there's someone else, someone named Yano, Dobu's junior in the yakuza, who's been spreading rumors, saying Dobu's just a small-time con artist, just a petty criminal. And those rumors, they've reached his boss's ears. They've damaged Dobu's reputation. So Dobu's caught in this perfect trap where he can't move, where he can't ask, where he can only watch and wait for Yano to make his move. Before Dobu arrives, Shirakawa texts Odokawa to meet her in the park and she's waiting for him. But something changes. When Odokawa finally meets Shirakawa at the park, he asks her, "What is your goal here? Why do you want to meet up with me? What do you get out of it?" And Shirakawa, for the first time, admits something. She says, "I find being around you relaxing." For him, it's not love, it's not romance, it's just the admission that someone matters to him, that after 41 years of being alone, of choosing to be alone, he's letting someone exist in his life, not as a passenger, not as a tool, just as someone who makes him feel something. Odokawa, he's scared. He tells her, "It's dangerous for us to meet. People are chasing me. They know my every move." But Shirakawa says, "I am a grown woman now. I can look after myself. You don't need to worry about about me, but he sacrificed his own Asiki for her sake. He went against his own principle that he should not care about anyone else. By pure chance, Odokawa picks up Taichi Kabasawa, the vigilante gets in the taxi, and immediately he recognizes something. Not Odokawa's face, not his name, just his presence. There's something strange about this taxi driver, something dark. Kabasawa asks him, "Do you believe in fate?" And Odokawa, this 41-year-old man who's built his entire life on the principle of not mattering to anyone, hears that question, and something shifts, because Kabasawa needs to believe in fate. Because if it's fate, then his million-view video, his internet crusade, his entire identity as a vigilante, it all means something. It's not Seram, it's destiny. He's a college kid, student at Mesa University, no job, no future, no plan, but he's got something else, he's got a mission, and he's got the internet. It started simple. Kabasawa posted a photo where Dobu happened to be in the background, just a chance photo, but the internet went viral with it, the media called, people started recognizing him, and suddenly, Kabasawa's got followers, thousands of them, then millions. 100 million views on a single video claiming he'd catch Dobu by end of year. This kid, this nobody college student, decided he was going to be a hero, he was going to catch the bad guy, he was going to rehabilitate him, he was going to upload videos of Dobu on his knees apologizing to the world. Justice delivered by an amateur. The internet loathed him. "You're so cool, Kabasawa, we're behind you 100%. Suddenly, a guy with no job prospects, no future, becomes relevant, he matters. He means something. He's the voice of internet justice, and people are listening. But here's the twist. Kabasawa's not actually hunting Dobu because Dobu's evil. He's hunting Dobu because it made him relevant. Because for the first time in his life, people saw him. People cared about what he was doing. He found a purpose, making someone else the enemy. Now, let's go back. 4 years back, no, 16 years back, because to understand the real collapse, you need to understand Tanaka. Tanaka's in his 20s, office worker, broken person, and his entire existence has been defined by a dodo eraser. When he was in 3rd grade, there was an eraser collecting fad. The rich kids collected them, the normal kids didn't. Tanaka wanted to matter, so he competed. He had a dodo eraser, just one, a gift from overseas. He was special for a moment. But then Sato, another kid, started collecting, and Sato had money. Sato could buy rarity, so Tanaka made a decision. He stole his father's credit card, he signed up for an online auction, he bid on a Danraku eraser, a one-of-a-kind piece, the ultimate rarity. His salvation, he bid 3,000 yen, then 3,600, then 4,100, getting into a bidding war with a stranger on the internet. His heart pounding, his hands shaking, because this eraser, this useless, stupid eraser, it meant everything. Bid goes up to 100,000 yen and he won. His Danraku eraser arrived, except it never arrived. The seller disappeared, no refund, no return, just loss. And his father, when he found out, he beat him. He beat him until Tanaka stopped being human. But here's the worst part. Sato forgot about erasers. The whole class forgot. They moved on, and Tanaka never did. Fast forward, Tanaka's working for a game company, and he finds a game called Zoo Garden. You raise rare animals, you compete for rank, and there's one animal, the dodo, extinct, super rare. He needs it, and he spends 5 million yen, 5 million, over 4 years, still ranked in the triple digits, still doesn't have the dodo. And at rank number 1, there's an account named Ditch11, the same name that scammed him on that eraser action 16 years ago. Probably not the same person. Odds are astronomical. But Tanaka, he needs it to be fate. He needs his suffering to mean something. So he keeps spending, keeps losing. And finally, after 16 years, he gets it. The dodo. Right then, Odokawa gone past him at high speed using his car. While Tanaka seldom found himself in save, but he accidentally loses his phone in open drain. After repairing the phone, his data corrupted. His whole account wipes. The dodo is gone. And at that exact moment, his cockatiel Maru, the bird he's had for 15 years, dies now as Tanaka is losing his mind. He went to bury his dead bird, but by accident he found the Dobu gun and hid it in a park, thinking that this is a sign for him to take revenge. He's destroyed, walking through the city, and he bumps into Kensuke. And Kensuke sees something in Taka's face, something that frightens him, like looking in a mirror but darker. And Kensuke asks, "What do you need to succeed?" And Tanaka answers, "Luck." But the truth, the horrible truth, is that luck is a diazy. Luck is what happens when you stop believing in yourself and start believing in chance. Then he see Odokawa, he recognize him and run to catch him, but he fail. Meanwhile, Mystery Kiss is rising. Rina Kaido, one of the 3 idols, she's the star. The pure carbon gemstone, the face. The agency manager Yamamoto, he tells Odokawa explicitly, a carbon gemstone needs others to help it shine even brighter, basically. The other 2 girls are props, they're setting. They exist to make Rui look better. Mitsuya and Shiho, they're masked, because the agency's strategy is that girls with mystery sell better. And when he was taking Mitsuya to the studio, he saw that she was having fried chicken and asked if she liked it. She told him that she was from Oita, and this was her soul food. Meanwhile, she put her phone in between the seats so no one could see it. But Shiho, she's tired, she's got money problems, she grew up poor, she's got brothers and a sister, and the only place she could find peace was in the bathtub. And Odokawa, he recognized her, not from TV, not from a concert, but from before, when she was just another girl getting around the city. city. Before Mystery Kiss existed, before she had a brand, the agency manager wants the dashcam footage, wants to edit it, wants to use it in their promotional video, wants to commodify the girls, even when they're just riding in a taxi. Odokawa refuses, but Yamamoto, he doesn't care about Odokawa's refusal. He'll follow up, he'll prust, because in this world, girls are proct, and products need marketing. Rui knows this. She's climbing, she's doing D-Ramas, TV appearances, photo shoots. The other two, they're struggling to keep up, and Rui keeps saying, I appreciate you, but don't work so hard. But she's Ling, she wants them to struggle, because if they fall, the spotlight only hits Rui. The conspiracy deepens when Odokawa visits Dr. Goroki's clinic, and Goroki, he's got a problem. Medications are disappearing, going missing for weeks. He knows it's an inside job, but if he reports it, he'll be the criminal, he'll lose his license. So Goroki does the cowardly thing. He closes the clinic, disappears the evidence, pretends it never happened, because admitting the crime means admitting his clinic was compromised, his life's work destroyed. But Odokawa pieces it together. Shirakawa's been stealing medications, and Dobu, he's been selling them. Illegally, he saw them meet in nights, and Shirakawa, she owes Dobu 3 million yen. This entire conspiracy, it started because a nurse got into debt, and her only way out was to steal, and only way to survive was to let a yakuza have power over her entire life. Odokawa and Dobu meet at a lotion, somewhere quiet, away from the city noise. This is a confrontation, a reckoning. And Odokawa, he finally has proof and questions. Odokawa demands to speak first. He says, I've got a question for you. And Dobu, being Dobu, says, go ahead. That's the only one I'm answering though. But Odokawa's smart. He says, no matter what, you always try to dominate the situation, don't you? Because that's how yakuza work. Information is power. And Dobu's not going to give him anything without getting something back. Then Odokawa says, yeah, but in this situation, I'm the one helping you. I thought you and I had an agreement. Odokawa knows. He says, I think you and Shirakawa are connected somehow. Am I right? Dobu hesitates. And Odokawa makes a threat, not physical, but smart. He says, if you don't answer honestly, I'm not telling you what I know. Then Odokawa reveals his logic. You specifically use Shirakawa's safety and well-being as a means to threaten me. If the two of you are associated in any way, then the premise of that threat doesn't hold water. It's brilliant. Dobu threatened to hurt Shirakawa to make Odokawa comply. But if Shirakawa is actually working with Dobu, then the threat is meaningless. So Odokawa just exposed the entire conspiracy in one question. Dobu breaks. He says, fine, yeah, you're right. And then, the worst part, Odokawa asks, and it was your idea to have Shirakawa approach me, wasn't it? Dobu tries to dodge, I don't know about that. If she did that on her own. But Odokawa process, he says, she's been stealing prescription medications from Goriki Clinic. You've been selling them illegally for her and then splitting the money somehow. Am I right? That's 4 accusations in rapid succession. And Dobu, he snaps. He says, that's too many questions, including the speed camera one. That's your 4th. Odokawa doesn't back down. He says, answer me. And Dobu, defeated, says, that's more or less accurate. Odokawa responds, with cold clarity, by criminal standards, I'd say that's cheap work. No wonder Yano looks down on you. That's the insult that hurts. Because Dobu's entire existence is built on the fear that Yano sees him as weak, as small time. And Odokawa just confirmed it. Dobu tries to explain. He says, I fronted Shirakawa's debt and she's paying me back. That's all there is to it. We're not tied beyond that and it isn't a job. He says, I answered your questions. Now it's your turn. Then Odokawa says something that changes everything. Now that I know that, there's no reason for me to keep my promise. Is there? Dobu panics. Then Dobu crosses a line. He says, if I don't get the name of the guy who wanted your dashcam data, I'm gonna have to murder you. Odokawa doesn't flinch. Dobu continues, describing exactly how he'd do it. That's not just a threat. I'll do it without a second thought. I've already thought of the way that will cause the most terror. I'd bind your arms and legs and throw you into an amble bathtub. Then I'd slowly start to fill it up with ice cold water. Sound good? It's terrifying. It's specific. It's real. But then Dobu says something that reveals his actual skill. Thankfully, I have a knack for figuring out exactly what makes you afraid. Dobu asks, who is it? And Odokawa tells him it's the manager of Mystery Kiss. Dobu asks, what the hell is a Mystery Kiss? Odokawa says, check out their flyers back there. And then on the other side, Kakiyana, the desperate waiter, meets Shiho, an idol from Mystery Kiss, at a restaurant. He thinks it's a real date. She seems interested. Shiho asks, do you come here often? Kakihana says he calls for another drink, nervous energy everywhere. Then he asks the real question, what makes you the happiest? Shiho opens up, taking a bath. I grew up poor with brothers and a sister. The only privacy I had was the bathtub. Kakihana listens. He imagines her life, her escape. She says, your bathtub must be amazing. Can you stretch your legs out? He says, of course, plenty of room, air jets, even a big screen TV. Shiho responds, I'd love to try it. There's a moment, a pause. He just implied he wants to be in her bathroom, in her private space. Shiho teases him, you mean like bathing it? He backs off. I think it's a little too soon for that. Then he proposed, why don't we go to Yufu in Sonmint? It's in Prefecture. Shiho says, sounds great. He tries to seem successful. I'm not exactly that rich, but I'm still pretty profitable. Then the Kakahana interrupts. "You're a college student, right?" The moment breaks. Reality crashed back in. She's not just an idol, she's a student. She's got a real life, a life that doesn't include him. Odokawa picks up a passenger on the street. It's the lottery fan from before, the mystery kiss fan, the kid who bought the ticket with Odokawa's lucky numbers. His name was Imai. Imai is Issy Static. He says, "Hey driver, hey, it's the Mistricus fan again. You actually remember me?" Odokawa says, "Yeah." Imai responds, "More importantly, I'm glad to see you again. Why's that? I wanted to thank you." He's grateful. He's glowing. He asks, "Did I do something for you?" Then he drops the bomb. "I used those numbers you gave me, and I won the lottery." Odokawa asks, "How much?" Imai says, 1,000,000,000 yen. "I haven't claimed it yet, but I've double checked it about 100 times. Odokawa responds, "If that's true, you shouldn't be spreading that around." But Imai says, "This is my first time telling someone in real life. I had to tell you at least." Imai is desperate to repay Odokawa. He says, "Isn't there anything you need money for?" Odokawa says, "Not." Imai asks, "Then, maybe for your family, or someone you care about." Odokawa responds, "Nah, I'm good." Imai persists, "In that case, are you free at the moment? I'll pay you whatever you'd make for a full day. Just let me take you somewhere, okay?" Odokawa says, "This really isn't necessary." Imai takes him to the White Dolphin, a cabaret dance club. He says, "Right here, I work here. It's a cabaret dance club. Since you don't want anything, I'm offering you something." Then he announces to the staff, "Free service for today. This is Odokawa. He's a VIP, so everything's already paid for. Just order whatever you'd like." But then, someone bursts through the door with a gun. They start shooting. Imai panics. "What's happening?" I've no idea why, but someone came in with a gun and started shooting. Staff yells, "Go, get out through the back door. It's hidden from the front of the house." Odokawa leaves immediately. He just walks out, doesn't hesitate, doesn't thank Imai, doesn't acknowledge anything when he reaches his car. He realizes that somebody smashed his car's glass, but nothing was stolen. Then he gets back to his house where he finds that Shirakawa is waiting for him. When Odokawa finally confronts Shirakawa, she breaks. She tells him everything. She was stealing pills to pay back Dobu. She had massive debt, and Dobu, he didn't recruit her out of kindness. He recruited her because Odokawa's dashcam was valuable, and she was the tool to get close to him. It was never about feelings. It was always about the data, about the money, about the conspiracy. But then, partway through, something changed. She actually began to care. She says, "I knew my heart could never betray you." And Odokawa, he does something unexpected. He doesn't rage, he doesn't leave. Instead, he just say, "Don't ever involved with me again." While all this is happening, Homo sapiens is collapsing. Baba's performing dramas, getting TV appearances. Meanwhile, his partner, Kensuke, is bitter. They had a deal. A year to make it to the N1 finals. Kensuke sacrificed everything, but Baba's becoming famous, becoming relevant, and Kensuke's being left behind. Comedy's supposed to be sharp, edgy, offensive, but Baba wants safe comedy, profitable comedy, and Kensuke just watch as the guy he built with leaves him behind. But in the studio, Rui breaks in. The producer's gone, so she sneaks into the recording room where Baba is working. He's shocked to see her, but she's desperate. She says, "It's been really hard to see you recently, and here's why." Baba's blowing up. His debut single drops on Christmas. There's a big concert the same day. If things go well, they're aiming for Budokan, the biggest venue in Tokyo. He's climbing fast. Kensuke calls Baba to practice in the third round, but he denies, stating that he has a shooting in hand. Kensuke inquires him after that, but adds that he has to work on his schedule. On the other hand, Dobu switches tactics. He says, "Work with me. I'm surrounded by enemies. I'm desperate." He confesses. He says, "I messed up time and time again. I even lost something important that the boss gave me. And recently, a video of some amateur claiming he's gonna catch me has gotten 10 million views. He's admitting that Taichi Kabasawa's internet fame is destroying him, that his boss is losing faith, that he's trapped. The final revelation, it's that asshole Yano. He's got his payos into this shit too. So Yano, Dobu's junior, is the one trying to buy the dashcam footage. Yano's the one hunting for evidence. This confrontation leads directly to the Alliance, because Odokawa realizes he can't win against Dobu, but he can negotiate with him. He can trade help for Shirakawa's freedom. Odokawa makes a deal. He tells Dobu he'll work with him. He'll find Taichi Kabasawa, the internet vigilante. He'll catch him, exactly who wants to destroy him. It's reckless, it's dangerous. And in return, Shirakawa goes free, her debt paid, her life returned. He's trading his help for her safety. So on Halloween, Dobu's plan is genius in its darkness. He'll dress up as the masked shooter. He'll walk the streets, because on Halloween, nobody questions disgraces. And if he's lucky, he'll run into the real shooter, and he'll know. He'll get Dobu's gun back before the police examine it. That's it for today. I will meet you in some time.